A young boy's cancer treatment sparked an idea about how he can help thousands of other children who are battling cancer.
He hated the hospital gown, and that made him feel even more sick. So they cut up his t-shirts and made him a much cooler gown.
They're called Luke's Fastbreaks. Well, Luke is now a cancer survivor.
I like wearing my own clothes.
It is a chance for our sick kids to feel a little less like patients.
A 9-year-old Texas boy brings his invention to Memorial Health.
He invented his own attire while being treated.
Some sick kids in Savannah are getting a chance to feel a little bit better.
Luke hated the gowns when he was in the hospital, so he helped design t-shirts that have snaps on the side.
Sometimes just a little color helps. That is exactly what Luke's Fastbreaks provides, the nonprofit.
So Veterans Day of 2013, my parents, Luke's grandparents, were in town, and we were scurrying around in the kitchen to get ready for the day, and my mom walked in.
My grandma looked up and she asked me what was on my neck, and I had no clue what she was talking about. So then she came over, started feeling around, messing with my neck, and I was like, I'm fine.
And said, it's really swollen. Do you feel anything? Do you, have you had a cold? Did you pull a muscle? And he's like, no ma'am, I'm great. And we kind of started watching it, and one thing led to another, and I took him to the doctor.
We had a surgery, and we got the lymph nodes taken out. And then from there, they tested the lymph nodes, and it came back that I had cancer. So then it was pretty hectic around here.
When Luke was diagnosed with cancer, I remember my mom coming in and telling me, like, your brother's really sick and it might be a while until he gets better. Immediately I was like, what is going on? And my mom's like, he has cancer. Sorry. I remember going home that night and like laying in my bed and just praying that everything was gonna be okay and that he was gonna get better and everything was gonna go back to normal.
There's so much unknown going on between the doctor, between us and Luke, and you just have no idea what to expect here in the future or what path you're really going down, and that's probably one of the most challenging things that a parent goes through is the unknown for the future. Yeah. When you're fighting cancer, the patient's fighting, but the entire family's fighting the battle together.
My parents never like made it like just about him. Like they were always there for both of us, which was like great to like feel loved and supported even though my brother was going through all that.
We took him to check in for our first round of treatment, and I will never forget when they handed him the gown, he's like, I'm not doing this. And I don't know if it was really the gown, but it was what it represented. And he's like, I don't feel bad. I don't want to do this anymore. I've kind of been, I've done everything y'all have told me to do, but I'm not doing this anymore. And that's when he broke down.
I just did not want to be there at all. I was in tears. It was not one to, not a pleasant memory.
And he's like, I'm ready to go home, and I'm not putting this gown on.
And that's when you pulled out one of his favorite sports shirts that he was like to wear all the time, and went and took it to the tailor and had him do something kind of unique.
They came up with the idea to put snap tape down the side, which we thought was a great idea. So they put snap tape down the whole side of the shirt, which allowed for the doctors or nurses to access my port. So it had the same effects of a hospital gown, just it was the clothes that I wanted to wear.
The shirt represented so much more than just a shirt and convenience and looking cool. It was the one thing that he could do that it was his way. He would show up in a different mindset when he would have the shirt on.
When you're in the hospital and you're battling like you are there, that makes all the difference in the world.
It's an emotional and physical roller coaster that people are on. So we are very fortunate that Luke has been in remission for 5 years, but I don't think that we will ever say he's beat it, because I don't want to wake it up and it come back into our world again.
Right. That's exactly right. We were sitting with a friend of ours, Mark Cuban, and then he said, hey Luke, I see your shirt and tell me a little bit about it. And so Luke started telling his story about why he liked the shirt, what it meant to him, how it made him feel.
After we showed Mr. Cuban the shirts, he said he loved the idea, and he paid for the first 500 to hand out to local kids and people in the Dallas Metroplex.
Mark said, okay, here's the deal, Luke. I want you to go home, design a logo, and I want your name in it. That's going to be the logo on the shirt and the name of the product.
We started off in just local hospitals. Now we're in 60 hospitals in the States, and then we're in, I think, in like 6 countries that have requested them. So we're sending things out, but we're being very methodical about our growth so that it's sustainable and that it's not
unfortunately, it's an unlimited market. You know,
yeah.
it's a terrible.
Yeah, but you never want to
situation.
tell a hospital, hey, we'll send you 20 care packages or 100 care packages, and then the next month when they need more, say, well, we don't have the funding, or we can't do it, or can we wait a couple of months, because, you know, cancer doesn't wait. So we have to be prepared to back up a relationship once we solidify it. Most of the people who are fighting this fight don't have the financial means to do what they need to do, and it just doesn't feel right to sell something to someone who doesn't even have the money to be doing it. You know, we're fortunate enough that we know so many people and have so many resources that have said, well, I'll sponsor a shirt, I'll sponsor 10 shirts, I'll sponsor 1,000 shirts for kids, and that has just made a huge difference. I mean, without people being committed to making a difference, just as little as the shirt is, I mean, it's been big.
It's big. I mean, these individual shirts that we, give to these people just make a big difference in their lives. It really, really does.
Once I was in remission, I had the shirt that helped me get through, and so I wanted to give back by giving the other kids or other people the little light in my tunnel, which was the shirt. And so I wanted to help give those away and let other people experience the shirt as I did, and I think it's made a huge impact.